You're gonna love him. Could you put your hands together, please welcome Mr. Kevin Thackaberry! Thank you, everybody. Before we get started, I just want to do something to put you all a little bit at ease. I've learned during the course of this learning that I have a certain affect. So I just want to let you all know up front, there will be no crowd work. I've moved to Melbourne recently. I lived in Perth, I lived in Canberra before this. There was something about Melbourne, or a few things actually, that attracted me. There are a lot of things that aren't really available in other parts of Australia that I've lived in. You know, the nightlife, the arts, the Woolworths metros. You know, smaller range, higher prices. You know, sign me up, really. But you know, having moved here, I thought it would be important to establish a connection to the community. So I've started volunteering. I volunteer at fun runs. So, you know, it's something that's really inspiring to me to watch these people who've, you know, worked really hard towards their dreams, done it tough on the day, got over the line. I like to stay to the end because there are always leftover medals. So I've run 14 marathons this year. And I'm also the state under-16 girls 1500 metre champion. So not bad. The other thing that I've been trying to do to kind of acclimatise myself to Melbourne, I thought I should learn a little bit more about the geography, the suburbs, the street names. So I bought a bunch of these custom Monopoly sets online. You might have seen these, you know, instead of having place names, street names in London, they have local landmarks for different suburbs around the place. And, you know, play is learning. So I thought that might be a good place to start, but I've hit a couple of issues. The first one is with the Toorak set. There's not enough money to afford any of the properties. The other issue actually was the Frankston one. All of the squares on the board just say go to jail. Like technology is obviously a very important part of all of our lives these days. One of the things that takes up a lot of my time at the moment is curating my Instagram algorithm. You have to put some effort into it to make sure you hit that sweet spot where you've got, you know, the puppies and the sandwiches and all that good stuff. I mean, I did have one incident, like I liked one post by a female comedian and then suddenly it was just tits. YouTube is actually worse though. YouTube is terrible. So it's like, I guess, so I had this aunt, when I was 5 years old, she gave me a Scotch finger biscuit, and I took it because, you know, I was quite young, and I might need to rewind that a little. I'll rewrite that bit. I was quite young. It was an adult offering me a biscuit. Was I going to say no? Of course not. So, you know, from that point forward, every time I saw that aunt, she would say, I've got a pack of Scotch fingers, they're your favourite. And, you know, right up until this day, every time I see her, she's like, you love Scotch fingers, don't you? And I've just never quite found the way to tell her that I fucking hate Scotch fingers. And YouTube is a little bit like that. But before I get into that, actually, there is one other thing that I wanted to just touch on regarding biscuits. I mean, people talk about climate change. They talk about concern about the planet, but nobody's talking about the environmental cost of including shit biscuits in the family assorted. But yeah, YouTube is a little bit like my aunt in the sense that I watch one video about how to boil an egg and suddenly 100 boiled egg videos appear in my suggestions. And I don't need 100 boiled egg videos. If I didn't get it right the first time, I'm not going to get it right the 100th time. And I just don't like eggs that much. I mean, the worst one was, like, I watched one video about trains and it pretty much diagnosed me with autism. How fucking good are trains, though? So good. Yeah, but before I was doing this, actually I was just over there, and I haven't been in a lot of green rooms, but I thought normally the mirrors were on the wall. He got it. Yeah. So, but the other thing actually to know about me is I work in IT. What? No. And I have done for a while. The first job that I ever had was testing for the Y2K bug. Some of you may remember. December 31st, 1999. Clock would tick over, all the computers would forget what year it was. Planes would go down, nuclear reactors would melt down. We'd all be living in a post-apocalyptic Mad Max type arrangement. And then, ticked over midnight and nothing really happened. And you know what? Not one single fucking thank you. Maybe if I just crashed Epstein's jet, it would have been different. All right, well, thank you very much, everyone.
Gentlemen, let's Kevin Thackaberry, come on! And as a special treat, he's been kind enough to download the internet